What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Pod Scum. I'm your host, Reckless Rex Ruger. That, if you couldn't tell by those enormous chompers, is the Freddie Mercury puppet. We're back with another amazing episode of Pod Scum. This, of course, is where the cool kids come to chop it up with your boy, Rex Ruger, a.k.a. Diamond David Lee Roth Jr., and you know damn well that's true. I'm going to give myself a look before my guest gets in here just to make sure I'm looking perfect, and perfect I am. And, of course, you know how I get it done, kids. Get yourself a can. You won't look this damn good because nobody can. It's impossible. I've got the Roth genes. It's genetics, baby. Don't hate. Congratulate. But you get yourself some of that. Maybe you'll start getting your life in order a little bit. You can get a quaff like Roth. Maybe. Maybe the chicks will start paying you a little bit of mind. Maybe you'll even be the front man of a phenomenal rock and roll band someday. That being said, soon, my lawyers have assured me that we will prove once and for all that you are looking at the son of glam, the front man for the band, the peanut butter to your jam, adored by millions of fans. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. Mr. Wop, bop, loo, bop, wop, bam, bam, shazam, hot damn. I am feeling good. And I'm looking particularly good, as I just verified there in my mirror that truly never lies to me. Always gets my good side, but then again, it's all my good side. Let me get my obligatory promos out of the way here before my guest gets in here. Of course, make sure to like and follow Pod Scum on Facebook. You must do that. That's where to keep up with everything. The ramblings of a madman and all your updates on new episodes that have been released and any other fucking shit I want to put up there. You just never know. So, and of course, no editing here. You see shit as it's happening, including me conferring with my guests. I don't edit anything. 51 years old. As you know, if you've been watching the show, too old and cannot be bothered with editing, man. Life must be recorded as it's happening for posterity's sake. So that being said, we're about to get things going here. Let me also remind you that if you are watching this episode right now, you have found your way to the Pod Scum YouTube channel. And while you are here, I would appreciate it if you would like. Now I'm talking about Facebook. See, I'm getting all my platforms mixed up. Well, of course, like the episode, subscribe, and most importantly, hit the notification bell to stay tapped in when new episodes are coming your way. That is super critical and super important, man. You want to know what the hell's going on. You want to be tapped in with the greatest podcast of all time, with the most amazing conversations of all time. It's as simple as that. So, that being said, let me make sure that things are rolling here, and they should be. My guests should be in here at any moment, man. And speaking of guests, let me also give out my obligatory thank yous to all my guests here and make this possible. You are my lifeline. My guest is here. Let's get down to it and chop it up. I'm excited. You should be excited. We're here, baby. We're here. Mike.
Yo.
We made it happen finally, huh?
Yeah, brother.
What's going on, man? You having difficulties over there at the crib?
No, we just our fire alarm to be updated.
Yeah, that's important. You want those. Yeah, you want to make sure that those are in tip top.
No doubt. Hey, sorry for the glasses. These are my readers, right?
No worries. No worries.
And my other one's broke, and these are my.
You are a cool rock star, man. Even your readers are fucking sunglasses.
Yeah, that's true.
Listen, Mike, first of all, again, thank you for doing this, man. When I do these things, I usually kind of like to go back to the beginning and work my way forward. So for you, when you got into music, man, was there a specific album or an artist or a song that really got it all jump-started for you?
Man, that's really hard because it's been a long time, dude. I mean, you talk when I was a little kid.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, the first show I ever saw was Black Flag in 1980.
Wow.
And I was a little child. And I saw Greg Ginn play, and it blew my head off. And, I wanted to play guitar from that moment.
Yeah, a punk rock show was your first show. And I just out of curiosity, how old are you when you're at a Black Flag show?
God, I was see how old I was 13 years old, man.
Wow, that's good parenting, man. Your folks let you go to a Black Flag show at
I
13.
was skateboarding and
Kudos to
hanging
them.
out. No doubt. Actually, they didn't even know. I just went with some of my buddies out. All my friends were older, like 17. We all were skating together.
Yeah.
And like, hey, we're taking you to a show. And they threw some I forgot what I wore some combat boots that didn't fit me. I was a little kid. Yeah. So
And so, you being a guitar player, is there one or maybe even a couple of names you could throw out there who you think have had the most influence on your guitar playing?
I mean, it goes. God, there's so many different. I mean, in the beginning, it was always punk rock.
Right.
Then I started really getting into like AC/DC, Angus Young, one of my heroes, of course. And then I discovered some of the metal stuff. Glenn Tipton, KK Downing, all those guys. I blew my head off. I was a kid, and then later in life, my favorite all-time guitar player is Dimebag Darrell.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just everything about Dime, the way he played, the way he rolled, the way he treated people. There's no better. Dime is the greatest of all time. Randy Rhoads, Edward Van Halen.
Yeah.
Those are all my heroes for sure.
So, so then where did you stand on this whole Pantera reunion, man? Like, obviously the Abbott brothers, rest in peace to two amazing legends. Were you happy when you heard they were going to go out and do this?
You know what? At first it was mixed emotions, of course, because without the Abbott brothers, it's like, you freak out. But,
Right.
and after, it started up, I'm happy for the guys, man. Because what's Philip and Rexx supposed to do? Just never do it again? When they got friends, like Zach and Charlie that are willing to jump in and pay tribute to the Abbott brothers. Actually, I'm totally into it. I'm happy for them that they can go out and enjoy those songs and the fans. I think it's cool, man.
So I would be remiss if I didn't ask, and obviously, and I don't have the exact date in front of me, but a few weeks back, maybe I'm guessing you started to tease that there might be some news coming up on SNOT.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you've seen, but okay. The reason I was teasing is because I reached out to TKO over with Alex Gilbert, which is a booking agency.
Okay.
Because I saw all these bands from our genre from the 90s, late 90s, are doing all this touring. I mean, all these festivals, Cold Chamber, Mudvayne, even Kitty, just a lot of bands in our genre. And so I reached out to TKO and asked them if I put SNOT back together and get a new singer. What does he think? It was literally a year later. He got back to me and he said, look, last year it was too late when you contacted me. But since then, I've gotten a lot of response and everybody wants SNOT. So can you put it together? So I reached out to the guys, found a singer, an amazing singer, which I'm not going to give up his name yet.
Okay,
but,
fair enough.
Yeah, and we put it together, and now we're booked on Rockville, Florida, and Daytona for what's that, in May.
Okay.
And yeah, we got some offers coming in for other festivals I'm not really allowed to talk about yet.
Understood. Yep.
We got offered some stuff over in Asia, some European stuff. We just booked 3 shows, which actually they'll be announcing tomorrow in Southern California. We're playing the House of Blues in Anaheim.
Exciting.
Yeah, it's like our first show with our new singer and back. That's January 17th. And that's at the Anaheim House of Blues in the Parish Room. That's a small room too. It's like 300 capacity. It's going to be off the hook. And then the next night we're playing San Diego at the Brick by Brick, which is January 18th. And then February 8th, we're going to go up and do a hometown show in Santa Barbara at Soho. So we're really excited about those shows. And then, of course, then the big stuff starts coming in. We're going to be Rockville in Daytona, Florida.
Yeah. Everybody loves when stuff comes full circle, man. You know what I mean? There's always, people are always nostalgic, man. I think just by nature, when something has been gone for a while and it's brought back, everybody gets on board and it's exciting.
It seems like the timing's right. I mean, if
Yeah.
you remember, thrash metal was dead for so long, right? I
Yeah.
mean, most bands in the world, just Exodus, Testament,
Yeah.
Forbidden, you know what I mean?
But in the
Violence.
90s, you make a good point. We did almost lose it in the 90s, and thank God for Pantera, because they really were one of the ones flying the flag, and still, you know, and still, not that it matters in the metal world much, but their albums were still charting very high, and like they were really the ones really carrying the torch for a while. Metallica, you know, in the 90s went a little wonky on us.
But actually, I do think it was the timing. It just came back, and
Yeah.
it's hard to remember, man. You go to an Exodus show right now, it's fucking sold out.
Amazing.
And
Amazing.
I'm so happy for that genre, like the Bay Area thrash metal scene. You know,
Yeah.
Death Angel. They're all back and huge again, and you never imagined it would come back at one point, and it's back, thankfully. And
Yeah.
I kind of feel like the resurgence is happening for our genre. You know, I don't like to call us a new metal band, but we are from that genre,
Right.
and it just seems like it's cool again to like it, you know. And
Yeah. Well, you make a good point. Those bands are not only still out there, but they're still out there doing it to a high level. I went the year before last to see the Bay Area Strikes Back tour, and seeing Exodus and Death Angel and Testament. Those bands are not only out there, but they're not just going through the motions and phoning it in. Like they're hitting it hard and like outplaying, you know, their peers that are, you know, that they're twice as old as.
Dude, I just saw Exodus in Belgium. I saw Forbidden in Holland, Death Angel recently. All of them just crushing.
Yeah.
Testament, crushing. Actually, Testament is on the Rockville. I'm really excited to see them. We're going to play the same day. So,
and because you do see a lot of bands out there still going through the motions, and you know, again, I don't want to mention any names, but you do see bands out there of a legendary type status who are out there using backing tracks, or they're doing this trick or that trick, and these kind of smoke and mirror type. I'm not a musician, so I'm just kind of repeating what I see on there, what the criticisms are. But you do see a lot of these bands getting shit on for not being able to deliver the goods like they once did.
I haven't seen too much of that, but I'm not paying attention too much.
You shouldn't.
Love, and the ones I love, they don't do that. They don't call it in. They're hard hitting motherfuckers, and like
without a doubt.
To just slay Belgium, and Forbidden slayed at Dynamo in Holland. Actually, I got to get on stage with those guys and do the Bay Area Interthrational. I jumped on stage with those dudes and rocked out. That was pretty cool, man. It was an honor, actually.
And so did you think, though, man, in your mind that, of course, what happened to Lynn, obviously your original lead singer back in 1998, tragic, may he rest in peace or whatever, but did you think at that point in time, though, that SNOT would be no more? Or did you see this coming, you know, at some point, even if it would be 25 years down the road?
Well, as soon as Lynn passed, we stopped. That was
right.
We're not here without him. We were devastated. He was our brother, man. Like, we couldn't even think about getting on stage again without him. Not only is he so talented, you can't replace him, but he was also our best friend. And we were crushed, man. So it was over. We never thought about playing again. And, you know, we dabbled in it here and there a little bit through the years. It just didn't feel right, but it feels right now. The guy we got is absolutely incredible, and the response right now is just fucking overwhelming, man. Like, I don't know if you saw like Blabbermouth, Metal Injection. There's so many sites out there just talking about Rockville, and we're in the top headline with Korn and Mary Manson and all that, and we're like,
I appreciate those publications because they do rip my interviews from time to time, and they do help my subscribers. I just did one with Jason Bittner, and thankfully it got me more subscribers because Jason's always a hot topic. You know, he just left Overkill. He's doing the Category 7, which is more or less like a super group. You know what I mean? So I mean, he's got a lot of great shit happening, and he even said in the interview, Blabbermouth is going to take this and run with it, and lo and behold, they did.
Absolutely, that project is real cool for sure.
Awesome, and what a legendary lineup too, man. My God, to put five guys like that together, huh?
John Bush is singing, correct?
John Bush, Phil Demmel, Jack Gibson, Jason, and Mike Orlando. Yeah. I mean, you know, I almost didn't want to start the interview by asking him, but I wanted to ask him how being labeled a super group actually felt. You don't hear that in the metal world a lot. You know what I mean? A super group. It almost sounds like, it almost sounds very pretentious, but it is what they are.
Fuck yeah, they are. They're all
You
just
know?
outstanding legends, icons playing together for sure.
Now, I would be remiss if I didn't ask you, though, like, what is going on with, now I got my notes in front of me. So the last Channel Zero album was Exit Humanity in 2017. Is that still, what's not returning, is that still a priority, Channel Zero?
Channel Zero, we actually put an expiration date on Channel Zero.
Okay.
I've recorded 4 records with them, and I've been in the band 15 years.
You have.
Best of my life. Humongous shows out in Europe, just killing it. But we still have 2 years. We're stopping officially. Our singer's calling it. We're stopping December 2026. We're doing our last shows in Brussels at the Unseen Belgique. It's a fantastic venue. We've already sold out 3 nights 2 years in advance. And we're going to also book more shows over the next 2 years. They're just not announced yet. But it was an honor to play in Channel Zero, and I had some great times. And those records I recorded with them were fucking awesome, man. I don't think enough people know about that band. It's really killer, man. I really love being in that band.
And for people that might want to know, because this isn't something that you hear bands, always necessarily do, though. But you specifically put, as you said, an expiration date on the band. What was the impetus for doing that? Do the guys just want to just stop, more time with family? Well, what was the main reason for that?
Dude, I'll tell you, man. I'm the one in the band. Actually, a couple of us are like, no, we don't want to stop. But the OG guys, which is Tino and Frankie, they want to call it a day, and they want to. For the most noble reasons. We're at the top of our game. We just played Alcatraz, 25,000 people singing every word. It was amazing. Did a bunch of other shows are all sold out. We're doing 10,000, 15,000, just huge. And they're like, look, we want to go out at the top of the game. We don't want to start slumping and play shitty shows and then call it a day. Let's just go out right now. We're all older dudes in our 50s. They're like ready to call it at the top, and I'm just gonna respect it, man, because they started the band, and like I said, I came in 15 years ago, which is they've been around for 30. And I mean that's kind of the reason.
I'll tell you what, though, I respect the hell of that because, I think there are bands out there, man, who do stay a little too long at the party. You know what I mean? And knowing when to step down and when you don't feel like, you can deliver the goods or you don't want to deliver the goods anymore, I think is important. It's refreshing to hear a band recognize that and just say, geez, if our heart's not going to be into this, man, we're gonna do the right thing by the fans and step down.
Sure. But we got some shows coming up there just going to be off the chain. So it's going to be a good time for 2 more years. As I guess I would respect it, but I was the one in the band who was actually pretty sad
you want
about
to keep
it.
going. Yeah.
Hey, we're killing it. Do we want to stop?
I know.
Hey, okay.
But with that being said, though, because you have been doing this for a long time, it is kind of a nomadic existence. You're away from all your creature comforts. You know what I mean? Like it can be tough out on the road. Do you still like that part of the business? Do you like touring?
Yeah, I love being out playing shows. It's great. I don't do it as much as I used to. Back in the day with SNOT and especially SOULFLY, we were gone for years at a time. I mean, SOULFLY, I think I toured for 4 years straight. I mean,
Max is a road warrior. He likes it out there.
I couldn't do that anymore. I couldn't go out like that. I only go out about 4 months of the year now, and with everything, 4 to 5 months, and the rest, I got a kid. So
Right. I absolutely love the Cavalier family because they really are metal, and like they're like the metal Partridge family, though. The whole family goes out with them. You know what I mean? Like they're.
I love them so much, man. Max and Gloria and the Tribe.
Yeah.
I still to this day just love them and cherish the time I had in SOULFLY. And they're out there kicking ass, man. I'm real happy for them. They got Nail Bomb back together right now.
Yeah. I've only got to see SOULFLY once, but the one time that I did see them, though, they were doing that Nail Bomb album in its entirety, and it was fucking amazing.
Fucking awesome. I used to get to play a few of those songs.
And so for you, when you're going to create music, what's your creative process like? Like, do you, I talk to so many musicians on here, and I get a lot of the ideas come to me in the car and I'm humming them into a phone, or I'm getting ideas at my day job, or you've got the creative people who can kind of, force themselves to go into a room, sequester themselves away and create music. Like for you, what's the process like? What kind of creative person are you?
Actually, everything you just said, I do all that.
Yeah.
I'll hear it in my head and I'll hum it into the phone. I'll come home and figure it out. And then it's usually a riff and it develops from there, and I'm hearing a groove under it already. And I'll usually kind of think to myself, does that feel like a verse, pre-chorus, or chorus? And I'll attach another riff to it, and I'll record that into my phone, like 2 riffs together, and I'll just save it. I got probably right now probably 100 of those or more.
Yeah.
That's usually where it starts. And the ones that I don't need to go back to the phone to listen to are the ones that usually stick. I love them so much, I remember it. I just sit down,
Right.
But yeah, usually starts with a riff and a groove, and then, and then we get with the vocalist and put it together.
Now, we've mentioned the names of some legends already, man, but because you've been out there, you've been doing this for so long, you've traveled all around the world. Have there been people in the music industry that you've got a chance to meet where you were inside a little bit, I don't want to say fanboy or starstruck, but where you were kind of like, wow, I can't believe I just met this person?
Dude, I'll tell you right now, man. I mean, Ozzy, of course, and Dimebag and Vinnie Paul and Kerry King, those all became friends of mine,
Yeah.
I was in a band with Max Cavalera for years. Dude,
Yeah.
I was every time around him, I was like almost nervous to talk to the guy. I was in awe. Max is one of my all-time heroes, and I was in a band. I recorded records with him. And to the day that I left that band, I was still a nervous wreck around him. I was such a fan of the dude. I just really think he's the man.
Yeah, I get that too. And he's one of those people where he's never really had like a clunker, he's always metal through and through. You know what I mean? He's really all about the metal. You know what I mean? He's never had an album where you're kind of thinking, God, what's Max doing here? You know what I mean? They've all been exactly as advertised.
100%. Yeah, for sure.
Kicks ass all the fucking time, man. And so so you do still enjoy getting out on the road. So you're doing these shows coming up with SNOT or whatever, but should fans expect possibly, and of course, just discuss what your liberties to say here, should we expect new music, recorded music from SNOT anytime in the future?
Man, recording without Lynn Strait it's like, I just can't see doing it,
Okay.
But it depends, man. We're going to go out and play some shows. We got a new singer, and he's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
And let's go out, see the response. And if the demand is there, we'll know it. We'll feel it.
Right.
And I mean, I've already started fucking with SNOT riffs just because I'm inspired.
Yeah.
I got right now that I'm like, ooh, God damn, that would be great SNOT.
Yeah, that's a keeper.
I don't know if that's a non-answer, but
yeah.
I don't know at this point, man, but I'm always open to it because I love creating music, man. It's
basically like a never say never type deal.
Oh yeah, for sure. Never say never. You never know, the inspiration might kick in, and the fans might ask for it and demand it, and
sure.
Yeah.
And so you're. I got a couple subjective questions for you here. So if you could put together your Mount Rushmore of all-time favorite artists for you, your top 4 GOATs of all time. All time.
I mean, Dimebag, center. Yep. I'm going to put Max up there.
Yep.
Ozzy Osbourne.
Yep.
I just think Ozzy's the man.
Oh,
I read his book a couple times. I Am Ozzy. Read that? It's amazing.
Oh, amazing. I gobble up rock biographies like you wouldn't believe. Yeah.
And it's really hard because only 4. I want to put Kerry King up there. I want to put Zakk Wylde up there.
Well, we'll chisel another face. You can stick a few more faces up there. Fuck it, right?
Yeah, and then of course, I want to go to some of my punk rock roots, man. The RKL. If I could just put all of them on one of the spots.
Yeah.
That's Rich Kids on LSD. People don't know about their band from Santa Barbara. Fuck, man. They definitely inspired SNOT. There's so many, man. It's hard to say. Greg Ginn,
Yeah. Now, do you think punk rock is one of those things now, like with the, can true punk rock exist here in 2024? Is the ethos there? Is the attitude there that makes for good punk rock? Or is the world just too easy right now, to get really angst filled, I mean, and make really true good punk rock? Because it does seem like nowadays with technology and being able to make music is an easier process with technology. I don't know, like, are kids out there forming bands? Are they as hungry as those old school punk rockers?
Dude, I think so. I think it.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, you got bands out there like Bad Religion who've been around for a long time, and No Effects and all that. And those guys are the old school leaders of what's going on right now.
Right.
Pennywise, but it's hard for me to say, man. I've been out of the punk scene for decades, you know. I'm just a fan. I can't say I'm a punk rocker, so I don't know if I can answer that correctly, but goddamn, I sure do love a good punk rock record, man, for sure.
Are you able to find, like, what's your listening trends like when you're listening to music and you're around the house and you're listening from a fan standpoint? Are you that guy who kind of, like, if you're going to listen to music recreationally, you kind of listen to your old staples, or are you able to find new music nowadays or new bands that excite you?
You know what? I'm strange. When I'm listening to my own music, I listen to a lot of 70s rock, man.
Yeah.
Foreigner. Fucking love him. Skinner, the Eagles, Joe Walsh, anything Joe Walsh, and then also I listen to a lot of Alice in Chains. I find myself when I'm just in a chill mood, I'm gonna put their greatest hits on. I love Alice in Chains a lot. Cantrell.
Lane Staley's my favorite vocalist of all time.
Yeah, for sure. But Jerry Cantrell's got to be on the Mount Rushmore for sure too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I like
just the harmonizing between those two guys. Yeah, unbelievable, man.
Just guitar playing.
Yeah. So basically, it's hard for you. Like, you do kind of lean back on your old favorites. And is it hard for you? Is it because you don't want to listen to new music, or can you just not find anything out there that feels like it's fresh enough and exciting enough?
I know. I just think it's the age I'm at now. I don't find things that are too loud and aggressive calm to me. When I want to listen to music, I want to chill and calm.
Right.
If I'm out with the buddies and smashing beer bottles, let's put on some Slayer, man.
Yeah. Now, I'm sure from a fan standpoint, you've been to a gazillion concerts. Is there one favorite gig that you've seen that stands out to you?
Oh man, not one. I mean, I toured with Pantera and Slayer. Okay.
Yeah.
Those shows fucking off the hook, man. There's one show out there that does stand out to me that I kind of bring up once in a while. I saw Rammstein in Berlin.
Yeah. Wow.
50,000 people. Okay. And this is before they actually completely exploded like they are now. Where they sell stadium out in 2 minutes.
Right.
But I guess it was God, what was it? It was.
And that's kind of their home crowd. That's kind of like their home crowd over there too.
It was damn near 20 years ago. It was a long time ago. But I saw them play in Berlin to 50,000 people, and 50,000 people sing every word in German.
Oh, yeah.
I just goosebumps. I mean, the whole place singing with Till. He carried a rocket launcher with him on the stage.
Yeah.
Carried it off the stage. It blew up the soundboard.
That's cool. Yeah, that's a show.
Yeah, blew my mind.
Yeah.
Thing is, he was carrying not the whole show, but like a few songs during the show.
Yeah,
we're like, that's a rocket launcher, and then he fired it. And it was the way they angled it and all that shit was on a line, zip line for sure, and there's explosives on the soundboard and all that, but it looked fucking real, and it was it blew my head off. That show was insane.
And now, what's the difference? The glaring difference that you see between like touring in America and touring in like European markets.
I don't want to piss anybody off, but touring over in Europe, it's just a whole different game. Fans are so supportive.
Yeah.
That like I guess if you're over here doing big festivals in the US, it's probably similar. But if you're doing like venues over there, say clubs, In Europe, you show up, there's clean showers, there's
Yes.
food, the beautiful dressing room. You know, you're just taken care of. They don't even care like what the ticket sales. Oh, we're not going to give them this. Here in the U.S., you're going to show up and you're going to get a case of water, some shit pizza, some drink tickets, maybe for some beers. I don't know, or
Yeah.
maybe just a couple 12 packs. They just kind of like shit on you over here, and I hate to say it, man. But over in Europe, they treat you right, and the fans over there, I mean, they can listen to a soft rock band and a metal band will come on right after them. You're going to get the same response. They're super
Right.
support. They support
Yeah.
the art there and music. Like it's crazy good, man.
And you're not the first person to say that sentiment. So, I mean, you do always hear great things, man, about touring over in Europe, and they do seem to have the utmost respect, like for the music and for the artists. And I mean, you know, the amount of festivals that they have. I mean, what we have over here really pales in comparison. I mean, like Europe really has it figured out.
They really do, man. They really fucking do. Not only that, but I think, you know, each territory is kind of its own country, right? And most of those countries actually pay promoters money to support the arts. So a lot of these promoters, they're not losing money no matter what the ticket sales are.
Right.
They're getting it from the government because the government's telling them we want art in our country, music.
Right.
Bring them on. We pay them the guarantee, you know, and then I don't know how they work it out with their government tax write-offs or they pay them back. I don't know. But nobody's scared of the loss of the income like they are here, you know?
Right. And then where do you stand on ticket prices? Obviously, ticket prices, you know, are way up there now. I realize people aren't out buying the physical product from artists the way they used to or whatever, man. But, you know, ticket prices, especially for big, you know, for big concerts, man, are really up there right now.
Oh, yeah. It's expensive.
I mean, they're high.
Oh, yeah. Everything's expensive now, though, right?
They are, yeah. We're sitting here laughing about it, but yeah, it's not too far from the truth, though, man. You know what I mean? Like concerts have really gotten crazy. I mean, unless you're going to see like, you know, you're going to the dive bar experience or you're going to the small club, you might still get reasonable tickets, man. But if you're going to see any kind of an arena show, it's through the roof.
Absolutely. Well, here's something cool. We purposely kept our tickets low for these 3 shows coming up.
Yeah.
If you go to the House of Blues in Anaheim and see SNOT, tickets are $20.
That's great.
Fucking SNOT for $20.
Now, how are you able to accomplish that, though? Yeah, I mean, are artists able to get in there and have a hand in setting ticket prices, or is it out of your hands? You know, like how much influence do you have on getting ticket prices set as an artist?
If there's a demand for the band and they're asking a certain amount of money from the promoter for them to play, and we're not coming unless we get this much, the promoter has to set the tickets higher price, right? We came in, we realized that these are our first shows back. We want people to come. We kept our demand low, so the ticket prices are low purposely to have people show up. We just want people in front of us enjoying it. And so that's kind of how we did it.
Yeah, kind of very similar to what I'm having Joe Lally on, the bass player from Fugazi tomorrow. And Fugazi throughout a lot of their career, man, were downright adamant putting their foot down about ticket prices being low.
They did $5 shows, didn't they? For a long time.
I know, incredible. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if you'd be able to pull something like that off that low in this day and age. It might be a little difficult,
but $20 is damn near what 5 used to be back then.
Incredible. Yeah, it really is. Now, if I could ask you, if I were to take you, Mikey Doling, and drop you on a desert island, and you could only take one album, what would the desert island album be?
God, I'd have to say Alice in Chains' Greatest Hits.
Yeah. Always good. Wow. And I like that you worked the loophole in there and took the greatest hits too. That way you get a little bit of everything.
Yep.
Now, what is it about that album now? Because it's already come up a couple times. Or like, what is it about them as artists, man? Like, what kind of effect does their music have on you that you'd want to be on a desert island and essentially only having them to listen to?
You know, I didn't even get it back in the day when their records first came out. You know,
sure.
I liked them. I actually saw Lane Staley on stage in front of like 800 people. But I always thought they were great. But the older I got, the more I realized how deep their fucking music is, man. The
Yeah,
depth, the way
yeah,
Canto just lays it out there with the music. And Staley, actually, I like the new vocalist too. Their new music's badass too.
yeah.
And Canto's solo records are great. Sorry, I'm just getting over a
That's
cold.
all
So
right. That's all right. I'm in upstate New York, man, so it's allergy season and cold season.
yeah,
Well, it's on its way.
yeah. But anyway, yeah. I just think, yeah, I just love that band, man. Alice in Chains, fucking. You can never listen to Alice in Chains and not be in the mood for it. It's just so great.
So, if you were able to put together your dream 3-band bill, and Snot could be on it, who would you love to be out on tour with for the other 2 bands? You know, if you could put your promoters hat on.
Let's go with Pantera.
Okay.
I mean, right? The real Pantera. Like, I wish Don was still alive and VP, Vinnie
Sure.
Paul.
Yep.
And Alice in Chains is not.
Wow, what a lineup there. Alice in Chains, Pantera, and Snot. Why not?
Yeah, that would be very cool.
Yeah, and we can keep the ticket prices at $20.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so you know, you're bringing Snot back after all these years, and you mentioned that it would really depend on the fans' reaction to it. You know, if you guys were to create new music, is there a hesitation? Because I kind of sensed it a little bit when you were talking. Is there a hesitation to embark on any new music without Lynn?
Oh yeah, dude. Fuck.
Yeah.
I can't see even how we would do it. And Lynn was just, you know, I mean, he was special, right?
Yeah, very.
Yeah, I don't know, man. What makes Snot's music so amazing was Lynn. I mean,
Yeah.
we were funky. We had a lot of flavors of punk,
Yeah.
funk, even a little lounge core in there. That's what we used to call it.
Yep.
But Lynn was the nucleus that made it work. You know, in order to do that, I don't know, man. It'd be a real challenge.
Yeah. Yeah. So tell me 1 or 2 things that you feel like in the last you know, couple of years. We'll talk about more recent times. A couple of things that you've tried to get better on or have gotten better on with your instrument, the guitar. Obviously, you're probably always growing as a guitar player.
No, you're 100%. I, over the last few years, especially, I've really locked down and make sure I practice a lot.
Yeah.
I kinda got away from the whole practicing. You know, I would just go jam shows or if I had rehearsal. I make time now. I got a little home set up and I sit down and fucking play guitar. I do runs. I practice my right hand, left hand, syncopation. I go learn a little bit Eddie Van Halen stuff, things I never used to do. I'm definitely focusing on being a better guitar player, you know, and I think I've actually grown over the last few years than I have over the last 20.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely. Yeah, I started focusing more on my skill for sure.
And you mentioned that you're a parent, man. So, like, when you play the music that you do for you have 1 child,
Yes,
and is he a fan of your music?
he's young. He just turned 12.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
he's a fan actually. He likes my band Wyote. I don't know if you've heard Wyote.
Okay.
That's another Belgian band that I have, and that's like a passion project that I put together. I actually wrote all the music and recorded all the instruments, minus the drums and vocals, and that's with Aaron Nordstrom of Gemini Syndrome singing.
Okay.
That band. He sings a couple other songs to me and makes me play them in the car.
That's good. So at least you're raising him the right way, much like you know, a lot like you getting into a Black Flag show at 13.
My favorite band right now are the Ramones.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah. I mean, I don't think you'd find a lot of 12-year-old kids nowadays, man, that would cite them as their favorite band. That's rare.
He loves Judas Priest too. He likes power a lot.
Yeah. For me, Judas Priest was kind of the gateway that broke me into heavy metal as well, man. I don't know. Those guys don't seem to get old either, man. And Rob Halford's voice doesn't seem to lose its power at all.
I just saw them at Power Trip. What was that, a year ago or something?
Yeah.
Down in Coachella, and they stole the show. It was Metallica, Iron Maiden, Tool, Judas Priest, and Guns N' Roses, and fucking Priest blew everybody out of the water.
I believe it. Yeah. What about and again, correct me for not knowing like what the status is on this band, but In Vitro.
Oh, that's been dead for a long time. That was
It's been
fun.
dead for a long time. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
the singer, Jeff Weber, who was amazing. He decided he wanted to be a school teacher instead. And he was always the guy reading and this and that. He's a teacher, so he split
Yeah.
it.
So when you're going to sit down and write like lyrics, you know, where do you draw the inspiration from there? Is it real life stuff? Are you a guy that pulls shit from the news or from movies, or like what's the main driving force, the impetus when you're going to sit down and put pen to paper and write songs?
It's all of it. It's you never really know where you're going to grab it from.
Yeah.
You know, and usually the singers, like for instance, Aaron Nordstrom from Gemini and Coyote, he writes all the lyrics. I mean, I did lyrics for a couple of the songs. But that was actually because it was before he was in the band. I had already written those, and then he liked them, so he sang my lyrics on 2 of the songs out of 10. But Frankie and I from Channel Zero, we write together, and we draw from all kinds of shit, from politics to poverty to kings to sports cars. I mean, all kinds of different shit, man. You know.
Now, this is one of those questions that's a little dicey. I don't think I've had anybody not willing to answer it. But if we were to right now be able to barter with God and get one of our deceased rock stars back, who would we want back and who could we fucking trade for him?
Oh, I want Lynn Strait back. That's my best friend.
Yep.
But if push that aside, I want Dimebag Darrell back badly. And if I could put Vinny with him, because it's kind of like you got to have both.
Deal. Sure.
You know what I mean? Yeah, I want those 2 back, man. Them fucking dying, like it's the world without the Abbott brothers. Just fucking sucks.
Yeah, it sucks. Now, in order to get the Abbott brothers back, who are we willing to give up in exchange for them?
Easily the brothers from Oasis. They're out. Fucking just boot them.
You know what? And you had the wherewithal. You know, unconsciously. I don't even know if you intended to do this, but you're getting back 2 guys essentially, and you're giving up 2 guys. So you're really thinking like a general manager here. You know, you're it's an even swap, 2 for 2.
And they're brothers for brothers, man. Yeah.
And what is it about those Oasis brothers that irks you, man? Because you are so willing to give them up to God and say, "Here, we want the Abbott brothers back. Take these fucking two fucking menches."
Okay, well, the Abbott brothers, the most talented people in rock and roll history, personally, the most humble, nice gentlemen. They partied their asses off and were hilarious, but at the end of the day, they treated everybody with so much respect and love. The Oasis dudes, those guys are just dicks, and you can
complete opposite. Yeah. It's only a matter of time with this reunion before they'll be probably punching each other out on stage.
No doubt.
I mean, it seems like whatever those guys do, it always seems to end in some kind of turmoil. And back in the 90s, people were hailing them as the next fucking Beatles. You know, I mean,
I never did.
I didn't get it either. I'll full disclosure, man. I didn't get it either, man. And you know, sometimes people will beat up on you in the comment section or say, you know, how could you not get it? But the Oasis is one of those ones that I just completely missed the boat on. I wasn't buying into what was so special.
And personally, I love the Beatles, and Oasis can't even hold their fucking soggy underwear, man.
Not even close. No, not even close. So if people want to stay tapped in or find out what's going on with news with any of your bands, what's the best place to go, especially for the SNOT stuff? Because, you know, that's kind of new and fresh. I'm assuming you don't have a website up and running for SNOT yet, do you?
No, we just got everything up and running. We do have a Facebook page.
Okay.
It's the SNOT Band Facebook. Go there. Join on that, subscribe, or whatever it is. And also, we got a new Instagram, and it's also SNOT Band, and it has the logo on it. You'll see it. We just got that. Was a fan page, and we didn't ever had one because we just never thought we would need it, you know.
Right.
But now we're back. We're like fucking scurrying for this shit, and we found a fan who had like 6,000 fans on there, and we got a hold of him, and he gave us his page because he really wasn't active for the last couple of years, but he still had all the fans on there. So, and we dropped a flyer on there yesterday on that Instagram from Rockville. We got 25,000 views on it yesterday.
I would imagine. Yeah,
cool.
I would imagine. It's very big news having Snot back. And I got to ask, before I let you out of here, the band name Snot. First of all, who comes up with it?
Well, okay. I started Snot myself in kind of a crash house. Like tenants were drinking, doing drugs back in 1993, right? Started this idea literally with a little recorder with a cassette and a little drum machine, and I was recording riffs with the drum machine. I was writing Snot on it and handing it out. Well, I shouldn't say that. Actually, I wasn't. I had this tape, and I went and found another bass player friend of mine, my buddy Ruben Gonzalez, and we were just talking about names. And he went, dude, if the music's good as this tape, and you can call it Snot, and people will like it. And I literally looked at him like, did what?
Yeah.
Light
bulb moment right there. Yeah, that's.
And he was like, no, I was just kidding. I'm like, no, it's not. That's cool.
Yeah.
And he was like, really? And then he actually played bass with me and another drummer before we had Lynn for about 5 seconds. And then we got Lynn, and he wanted to move on from those dudes, and then we found the real guys. But yeah, that's where that name came from.
And that's kind of cool because it's vile, it's offensive, but yet it's one quick word. It sticks in your head, man. People are going to remember it. But did you fact check it first? Did you go out and see if there was another band named Snot, or have you ever known of another band trying to go by Snot?
Brother, it was before the internet, man. I mean,
right.
It was when that was all starting. There was no way to go look online.
That's a good point. Yeah. So to the best of your knowledge, though, there's never been another band named Snot.
No, I mean, no, not that I know of, no.
Which is pretty incredible when you think about it, because I know a lot of people in bands, and sometimes putting a name on the band and not having it taken already can be the hardest part of starting a band.
No doubt about it.
Yeah, you got lucky right there, man. And it's a short, catchy fucking word, man. It makes people think. Maybe makes them even a little sick or whatever, man. But still, they're certainly not going to forget it.
Yeah, no doubt. It was real. It was lightning struck when we kept that name for sure.
But at one point, and correct me if I'm wrong, at one point you guys, do I have this wrong? You did try to come back and use Snot spelled backwards?
There was a minute where me and Jamie, who's our drummer, and Toomer, our bass player,
yep,
we were trying to write music and maybe kind of start something new. We were calling it Tons, which is Snot words, which is kind of cool, I think.
You better.
And we actually wrote some good songs, man. But that just fell apart right away, and then we moved on.
Well, this is very exciting, man. I wish you a lot of luck with it, man. So people can. So the best place is Facebook and Instagram to find out what's doing with Snot.
You can find me on that Twitter and X. It's Mikey dash Snot or something like that. I just found out it would actually have a Twitter account. I didn't even realize.
yeah.
I set it up at one point, but yeah.
Nowadays, if you're in music, you got to be on all the platforms, though. It's kind of like technology has almost made it so you've got to kind of play ball. You know what I mean? You do.
Yeah, for sure.
It's tough. Yeah, but I'm super happy we got a chance to do this, man. And I wish you a lot of luck going forward. We're in touch now on Facebook, so definitely stay in touch when things get cooking, or when the new singer is announced, or you got big exciting news. I'd love to have you back, man. It's been a lot of fun chopping it up with you, man.
Thank you so much. If you get a chance to come out and see us, please come have a beer with me. I'd love to hang.
Absolutely, man. If you're anywhere in the upstate New York area, for sure, let me know.
Okay, I will.
Yeah. I enjoyed talking to you, though, Mikey. Thanks. Stay in touch. We'll do it again soon, brother.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thanks, my man. You got it, brother.
Later, brother.
All right. You too, brother. Later.
Bye.
There he goes, folks. Mikey Doling from Snot. You may also know him from Channel Zero. You might also know him from the stint that he did in the legendary SOULFLY, Max Cavalera's band. But big news, the big news that we were here to discuss was the resurgence of Snot. And as you heard, they have new shows booked. Sounded like it was a never say never on the new music. We're not sure who this anonymous new singer is going to be, but Mikey assures us that it is a guy that has fucking chops and will get the job done. Of course, they lost the late great Lynn Strait back in 1998 in a car accident. That was the original vocalist. But great to see those guys are going on, man. As he said, man, we need Snot in our life. The world is a better place with Snot. It just fucking is. So there. I fucking said it, man. I'm happy that they're back, man. One of the great new metal. Well, he called them new metal, so I guess I can get away with saying it. One of the great new metal fucking bands that ever existed out there. Probably not given their dues as much as some of the other bands, your Limp Bizkits, your Korns, this band, that band. SNOT is the real fucking deal, man. An awesome fucking band, man. Go check them out. Go back and dive into the discography. Go check out fucking shit that they've done. Go listen to Mikey's playing on some of those SOULFLY albums, man. Of course, as he said, he's been in Channel Zero for the last 15 fucking years. They have put out that they will be stopping in the next 2 years. So educate yourself on Channel Zero. Go check out their fucking amazing music. Their last album, Channel Zero's, that is, was 2017's Exit Humanity. So go check that out. Go check out the whole discography. And of course, we're here to celebrate the resurgence of SNOT. That's big news. That's fucking great news. So as Mikey said, check them out on Facebook. Check them out on Instagram. Stay tapped in. They could be coming to a town or an area near you. And if so, go check them out. As always, support all of your bands. Get out to a show. Buy some merchandise. Go to the website and buy something, man. Let's help our artists out so they can keep on creating. They're giving themselves they're giving us a piece of themselves. That's fucking important and should be recognized. They're out there grinding, folks. So get out there and show your favorite acts some fucking love. I'm super happy that SNOT is on its way back. That's great news. So congratulations to Mikey Doling. Really appreciate having him on here, man. Glad we got a chance to do this. Really enjoyed the conversation. Hope you guys did too. That being said, make sure to follow and like Pod Scum on Facebook. And as I said earlier, like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell on this channel to stay tapped in to the best conversations anywhere. The cool kids come to chop it up right here with your boy, Rexx Ruger. And with that being said, let me remind you to take it easy and keep it sleazy.